Hi friends, good evening. Welcome to SQL Master YouTube channel. So I am Manju here and I welcome you all for my YouTube channel. So today in this video we are going to learn about the Agile methodology in detail. Okay. So the concept is very important because almost all ETL testing field companies are following now Agile methodology. Okay. So to understand the Agile methodology, why it is having so much of importance, so we have to know the Agile methodology completely. Okay, the concept is very important to do the work in real time work experience. Okay, so if you know basic method, then only you are able to do the work with comfortably. Okay, so that's what the thing here. So if you are not subscribed to my channel, so kindly subscribe to SQL Master YouTube channel so that you are able to get the more and more videos on this regard. Okay, so let us move to the slides what I made here, and I show you these things. So first thing is why Agile. So any modern organization must react quickly to the changing market trends driven by fierce competition and dynamic customer requirements. Okay, so because the customer requirements are very much nowadays. Okay, so the what this is indicating that, and it is Agile that is changing the paradigm of how companies operate in the digital world. Okay, so then Agile is categorized into the subset of project management methodologies, adaptive software development, extreme programming, lean software development, dynamic systems development method, and feature based development, and Kanban depending on usage, Scrum, etc. So we have described many of them in our blog in this video. Okay, so this post aims to answer the question, why is Agile so prevalent in the software development industry. So that's what we are discussing here about this Agile methodology. So that is understandable because of the flexible, iterative and incremental character of Agile. The companies can focus on the essentials without forgetting about the product or services they want to launch. Development teams can consistently adapt their approach as they progress, gaining consistent feedback on their product. So at the as stated in Agile report, the pace of Agile adoption in both IT teams and other groups has doubled this year. Almost half of the respondents focused on business value, 49%. Okay, so and customer satisfaction is 49%. In addition, a 45% increase in delivery speed is considered an equally important indicator of flexibility. So we found that Scrum ranked as the most used Agile approach in the 2021 report. 66% of people use it. Another 15% chose Scrum derivatives. Okay, so Scrum ban 9% and Scrum, that is XP 6%. Okay, so you just have these ideas. Okay, so you will come to know the things properly. So moving to next slide. What is meant by Agile SDLC, that is a software development life cycle. So the Agile SDLC methodology is based on the joint decision making between teams and cyclical iterative progress of creating working software. The work is done in regularly repeating sprints, which are usually a few weeks. Okay, sprint means here a duration, time period. Okay, so usually those periods are about to few weeks. That constraints markedly with the time frame of traditional project management, which sometimes stretches indefinitely. Okay, sprints are variable. Okay, not fixed. So if your projects might be going to the increase. Okay, the what the period is. So then we can increase sprint also. So that is variable. That is not fixed always. Okay, so that constant. So this is what the indefinitely. The Agile SDLC model emphasizes process adaptability and customer satisfaction by rapidly delivering a working software product. Agile methods break the product down into small incremental builds that are provided in iterations. At the end of the iteration, the developers show the customer and the other interested parties a work product that contains all the customer's functionality. Each iteration usually lasts from 1 to 3 weeks and includes planning. These are phases, okay? Planning phase, analyzing phase, architectural designing phase, coding phase, and unit testing phase, acceptance testing phase, delivery, that is release, and feedback. Okay, these are the phases here. Then moving to next slide, that is you repeat these steps until all items in the product backlog are complete. There is a cyclical rather than linear process. The sequence is visible on the Agile software development lifecycle diagram. According to the Agile model, each project is handled differently and existing methods are adapted to fit the project's requirement best. Your focus on more achievable goals that guide your team's immediate actions. What are the benefits of Agile for your businesses? Then, Agile project management is the reminiscent of the Pareto principle known as the 80-20 rule. That is 20% of the effort gives 80% of result, and the remaining 80% of action gives only 20% of the effect, and vice versa. Okay. So with Agile SDLC, you get 80% of product delivered in just 20% of the time. It focused your attention on the main parts of the software that bring real value to the clients and the project. The advantages of methodologies are so transparent. We can describe each point in the one sentence. So with Agile, you will have to access to Agile delivery and functionality demonstration, minimum resource requirements, a sensible approach to software development, productive collaboration and cross training, the ability to use in a constantly changing environment and with fixed or changing needs, early provision of partially working solutions, minimum rules and easy to use documentation, possibility of parallel development and delivery within a familiar planned context, easy handling and great flexibility. Okay, so this diagram represents the advantages of Agile methodology. Okay, you can see here project cost reduction of up to 26%, software maintainability is 35%, managing distributed teams is 41%, engineering discipline is about 44%, software quality is of about 46%, project predictability, that is 50%, project risk reduction 51%, increased team productivity 58%, team morale, that is 59%, delivery speed and time to market 60%, business and IT Agile alignment, that is what 65%, and project visibility 65%, ability to manage changing priorities, that is 70%. So by observing this diagram, you can get idea about how the Agile methodology is having user friendly. Okay, so moving to next slide here. Why did our company choose Agile in software development? We asked Brad Prokopik, that is project manager at Relevant Software, to answer this question. So you can just observe the answer here. Each organization has its reasons to be more flexible. For example, at Relevant, we want to deliver products of the highest quality and respond faster to market demands, get the job done at a lower cost and stay ahead of our competitors. At our company, flexibility is everything: product quality, delivery speed, profitability and team collaboration. But the biggest benefit is that the clients have more control over the situation. We are flexible in responding to the changes in their needs, and the product always meets their expectations. Okay, so this is what the important, because if any stakeholder or giving some projects to us, we have to work on that product with a very sincerely, okay, accurately. We have to deliver the product as per the client satisfaction. So that's very important, and also the product quality is very important. Okay, so if quality is there, then we get more projects in future. Okay, so that's what the thing here. I often hear the question, when use the Agile models most appropriate? I would answer it this way. It is always right when you want to be sensitive to market changes and work with any resources available to you at the moment. Agile helps you to reduce or eliminate wasteful and meaningless activities. Agile software development evades strict prohibitions because it puts the people, their communication and the effort to create a quality product at the head of the everything. Agile allows developers to independently decide what they can do in a set of time interval. At the end of the iteration, get a working piece of software installed, tested and presented to the client. Thus, the developers build an actual product approved by the client, which is crucial to achieving the best result in the shortest possible time. So, this is what the next slide is here, and the fundamental principles of Agile development. So, we can see here what are the fundamental principles of Agile. The top priority is customer satisfaction through timely and continuous delivery of valuable software. Changes in Agile processes are used to create competitive advantage for customers. Changing requirements is possible even at a later stage of development. We can change later also. So there is not a particular rule that client has to, stakeholder has to make it correct now only, because if the stakeholder getting some more idea, some more feature want to add in after some time, project starting after some time, so then also we can add those features to the product whenever client requires. So this is what the thing here. Working software is delivered to couples of a week to a couple of months with preference for shorter terms, and this is the primary indicator of progress. Employers and developers need to be in contact daily throughout the project. Motivated people create projects in the right environment and with the proper support. Self-organizing teams make the best requirements and architectures and designs. The most effective method of communicating information to and within development team is face-to-face communication. The team should regularly review their performance metrics and tune and adjust their performance accordingly. Agile processes contribute to sustainable development. Investors, developers and users must move at a constant pace. A relentless focus on technical excellence and impeccable design enhance maneuverability. So simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work in progress, is essential. Key Agile software development lifecycle phases is so you can see here the Agile lifecycle is structured series of stages that a product goes through. It consists of 6 phases. That is, we can see here the requirements, stakeholders conduct an overall project stakeholder conduct an overall project assessment to determine the time and resources required for the development process. At the same stage, the owner assesses the risks and prioritizes the various functions depending on their business value. Then design. The software owner meets with the software development team and introduces them to the requirements outlined in the first step. The group then discusses the sequence of introducing functions and identifies the essentials tools, the programming language, syntax library and basic frameworks. At the same stage, software development teams can prototype the expected user interface. Then development and coding. After agreeing on the plan with the customer, the team develops product itself. The product is delivered in stages in separate sprints, each designed to improve the current version of the product. The initial release is likely to undergo many changes to provide improved functionality and new features. So each cycle includes testing and final product must also undergo final testing. For this phase, you can use Scrum and the Kanban methodology, the development process based on individual tasks, integration and testing. At this point, the product becomes available to the customers, so the team must conduct a series of test to ensure that the software is fully functional. If potential bugs or flaws are found, the developer will fix them immediately. At the stage, they also collected customer feedback. So next, implementation and deployment. Okay, so the software is now fully deployed and available to the customers. This action puts him in the maintenance phase. During this phase, the software development team provides ongoing support to the keep the system running smoothly and fix any new bugs. Over time, further iterations are possible to update existing product or to add other functionalities. So the next one is review. That is the last stage of agile development cycle. After completing all the previous stages of development, the development team presents to the owner result achieved in the meeting the requirements. After that, the agile software development phases start over, either with a new iteration or moving to the next stage, scaling agile. Agile techniques and tools. All software development methodologies are classified as adaptive or predictive. So the Agile SDLC is part of adaptive subcategory, while the V-shape, waterfall, iterative and spiral models are the part of predictive approach. They are all designed with various development requirements and expectations in the mind, which vary from company to company. So V-shaped SDLC. Since the process is based on waterfall model, it flows like water, meaning the development teams goes through various stages of the SDLC step by step. Each stage ends with testing, and the group moves on to the next only after completing the previous stage. So here, without completing previous stage, we can't move to the next stage. Okay, so this is what the thing in waterfall method. The model is also called validation verification because the test helps to check if all requirements are met, and the team can move on to the other phase software development. With the V-shaped SDLC model, you cannot go back to the step to fix or add something. Okay, this is what the problem here. We can't add again go by going to the previous step and try to add new feature. Okay, this is not possible in waterfall method. If your product is new, has many features that is needed to be implemented, or is unsure of final functionality, this model is unlikely to suit you. Okay, so then iterative SDLS. So you can use an iterative approach to the projects without the extensive list of requirements. You only need functional requirements which you can extend later in the development process. This model covers all stages of SDLC, from requirements to design, coding, testing and turning back to requirements. The process is repeated and allows you to create a new version of product for each cycle. So repetitive iterations are both of an advantage, have both advantage and disadvantage of this model. You should use this process wisely, otherwise it can quickly drain resources because of unnecessary changes. An iterative approach will not work for startups and companies with limited financial resources. Then comes to spiral SDLC. So here the entire development process is broken down into the small steps followed by the teams. The final project performance is highly dependent on the risk assessment process, which requires a detailed inspection of each iteration. Therefore, to evaluate the project from time to time, unique talents are needed. Spiral models are preferred for large, expensive and complex projects. So waterfall SDLC. Then the waterfall model is considered as the oldest among the SDLC models and underlies several other approaches to software development, such as V-shaped and spiral models. The waterfall model uses a linear path where you need to complete one phase before moving to the next. Each stage depends on the previous one and there is no turning back. Okay. So inflexibility is the major drawback of the waterfall. Projects based on the waterfall model is easy to manage, but rework is no longer possible once completed. That makes it difficult to solve any problem that arises. So this is what the main issue in waterfall method. So can Agile be combined with other methodology? So this is also a very important interview question here. So at the first glance, the confrontation between software development lifecycle models and methodologies is natural because they offer different ways to achieve the goal. For example, let us compare the software development lifecycle of waterfall versus agile development. A waterfall is a forecasting technique. Step A precedes step B, and so on. Product performance is guaranteed, and there is no way to revise any step. Any delay during the project will delay delivery. Agile is more dynamic here. As developers divide the project into smaller parts, they can create sections of working code at the end of each sprint. Okay, so this is what the thing here. So this time boxing method ensures that the customer receives functional software throughout the entire project. Sometimes the choice between traditional versus agile SDLC is worth ditching and mixing methods. Agile and waterfall can coexist well in the same space. Both provide visible benefits and are suitable for a variety of projects. For example, many tech companies can launch their infrastructure projects, that is installing servers or creating other physical environments with waterfall, and build their software applications using Agile. So this is what the thing here. So we can combine both the methods but in separate segments. Likewise, many application development teams use Agile methodology and managers make high level plans using the more traditional waterfall methods. The bottom line is that today's world still needs the rigidity of the waterfall model and flexibility of Agile approach. It is only necessary to remember that communication is critical when mixing the two in the same environment. Okay, so this is what the thing here. So friends, what I discussed here in this video is about Agile methodology and some comparisons between Agile methodology and waterfall methodology, and also like spiral model and V-shape model. Okay, so it's very important to know the different types of methods. Okay, so nowadays almost all companies are following the Agile methodology. With some parts we are following using waterfall methodology also. So for large projects we are using spiral models. So this is what the thing here. So I hope you understood this concept clearly and properly. So I will be with you in my future videos with some more ETL concepts and okay, so ETL queries or some more questions, interview questions. So till that, bye bye friends, have a nice day, and I will be back to with some more videos. Thank you. Bye bye, take care.